Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on the purchase of your Intech Sol Horizon Rover Edition. I'm here to walk you around it and show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, leave plenty of room for that awning to come in and out. On your off campsite, I just want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. They're going to be right next to each other, just above your tire on your off campsite. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook your hitch, first thing you do is level your unit. If you have a night docking light, should you arrive at night, simply retract to lower, extend to raise. Should you lose power, under this rubber stopper here is a manual override that you can use your leveling jack hand crank on to bring that up and down if you don't have power. Once you got your unit level, next thing you do is stabilize it. All four corners of your unit, you have these little scissor stabilizing jacks with a 3/4 inch crank here. You can use an impact driver or a drill gun. Just slow down when you get to the bottom. I am also going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris and hot blacktop. Run these down just until this is taut. Once you have any type of resistance on this, go ahead and stop. Because remember, our unit's already level. All we want to do is stabilize it. So go around to all four corners, get all four of those down, have your unit level and stable. We can go ahead and hook up our power and water. There's your rear stabilizing jacks. Your power cord, 30 amp cord plugs in here on the side. Unlock, you turn left and pull it out. Push it in, turn it right to lock it. Turn your washer here. There's your 30 amp service. At the end of that 30 amps, should you need to plug into a 110 somewhere, in your convenience pack is a 30 amp to 15 amp. So you can plug into a 110. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. Right next to your power is your water docking. This is your potable or fresh water, and this is your city water. At the campsites, we'll hook up to city water. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use this when putting fluid in. Hook that up. Hook up your hose, but don't turn our hose on yet. Right next to your water is your hot water heater. This will lift off here. All we're going to do at this point, make sure our drain plug's back in. Throw some plumber's tape on there. May have left this out the last time you were camping, draining your hot water heater. Get that in there nice and tight. Once that's in there tight, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After that hose has been on for a little bit, go inside and open up your water taps. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Once the water is going through them, you can shut them off, and then you can turn on your hot water heater from indoors. If your hot water heater doesn't seem to be working, come out here and look and see if these are bubbled up. If they are, simply press them back in. They're a reset. And then here's your pressure release valve. Now let's say we're going to go camping. We're not going to hook up at a campsite. We're going to go dry camping. In that case, you're going to want to fill up your potable water. No need for a water pressure regulator here. Simply use a hose. Two ways to tell when it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here. Or two on the inside where you check the levels of your battery and gray tank. There's also a button for your fresh water. That'll tell you when this is full. Don't leave this when filling it. Stay close to it. Once it's full, go ahead and put your cap back on. And then when you want to utilize that fresh water, you'll turn on your water pump indoors. Don't turn on a water pump when hooked up to city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we're hooked up with power and water, and we're ready to camp. Let me walk you around to the rest of the outside of the unit, starting here on the off-camp side in the rear. This big storage area, you got a canvas that you can snap onto your front window. You also have a leg where your rolling foot is right now in the front, and this is a hand crank manual override for your awning. There's your hot water heater again, water, cable. You also prep for solar. You can plug in a solar panel right here and that'll trickle charge your batteries. Again, your power. Access to the back of your fridge for the techs. That is a flue for your furnace. Two things: make sure it's never blocked, and if you run your furnace, steer clear of that. It does get warm. Down here is where you dump your tank, and that is an area you can store your sewage hose in. You also have a vent because your batteries are inside there. Propane tanks are in here. We'll simply remove these cotter pins. Let this down and show you. Propane is in here. It is on a regulator. Simply lefty-loosey to open. Point this toward the tank you wish to be using. We'll close that up before we leave. Here's where you'll snap on that front canvas. Again, your power tongue jack. This magnet here will hold your entry doorway open. Your awning will run out in a moment. Got a couple of 110s out here if you want to cook outside. This is a spray port. You can pull that out to spray your unit off. Talk about your outdoor kitchen. That'll connect onto that magnet. Press this right down to bring it out. Your fridge is fridge/freezer, depending on what temperature you set it at. Coming around to this side here, you'll pull out your quick connect LP, and that'll connect right there. Pushing this back in, this griddle does remove for cleaning. Once you get in this far, I'll snap in there for you. Make sure you lock this. If you have a key for that, make sure you lock it when you're traveling. Onto the back of the unit and back over to our off-camp side. That about covers everything on the outside. Let's go take a look inside your unit. First thing I like to point out in every unit is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Immediately to your left is your GFCI Reset 110. All kinds of lighting. You can turn on and off your bedroom lighting here. Come into the unit, lift this up. Your gas is on, you simply turn this to light, hit a spark, and that'll light up on here. Kitchen accent lighting. Your awning. I'm going to come right back to that and we'll run that out. Drawers with remotes. Drying pan for your, or drying rack for your sink. Several more storage remotes. Coming into your bedroom here, I will take the remote and turn your TV on. So you got a Fire TV, you'll set that up. Wanted to tell you that up here is a little button to push, makes that turn red. When you arrive at a campsite, before you run a digital channel scan for local channels, make sure that light's on. That's a digital channel enhancer. It'll allow you to pick up more channels. This is on a swivel, can move all kinds of ways. Down here's your thermostat. Turn that on, air. Turn the temperature down. Get your AC to crank up here. All your controls are on this side. Modes are over here. There's your AC with quick dump. Shut your AC off. Get down and say off. It should shut off rather quickly. Now when I turn on your heat, turn the heat on, you notice after the fan turns on that when I shut it off, oh, that kicked on, you hear that running over there underneath the fridge. When I shut this off, it's going to take a few minutes for the heat fan to cycle through before it shuts off. Storage and lighting up here, a couple of 110s. Bedroom's lights you can turn on and off from being in bed. Your smoke alarm. This is a rack that'll fold out for a hanger. Underneath your bed, more importantly, is where you have a lot of access to things. You start here in this front one. I'll show you, this is access to your water pump, or excuse me, to your water tank, and there are your bypass for those. And then coming over to this side is going to be your hot water pump. There's your antifreeze inlet and all your bypasses. And when you leave the campsite, you'll open up both of these to drain your waters. Low point drain. One more area up here is for your pump. Then in your bathroom, you have the wet bath, the hand crank open, power exhaust vent in here, self-explanatory microwave, new Jensen sound system. These are really nice. Crank the music up. Zone A. See if we can get a channel to come in. Scan. Make a long story short, they come in a lot better outside. There's Zone A. Zone B is the back and outside. AM, FM, Bluetooth. Nice system. DVD, CD player. Hold here to shut your power off. Here's your control panel. So up top is where you'll check your levels of your batteries. Just to shut off. So here's where you check your brand new battery, your fresh water, and your black tank. Here's where you turn on your water pump if you're using potable water, your tank heater. There's a little pad on your tanks that you turn on if you're in inclement weather. Turn on your water heater here if gas, water heater here if electric. It does make a difference. Dometic fridge, turn that on. Right now you're plugged in, so it's on electric. You can turn it on auto or battery. Touch the battery or gas. And down here is where you'll change the temperatures, higher or lower. 5 being the coldest. Down below there is your heat vent. You see that fan just shut off. It does take a couple minutes for it to run itself through the cycle. Underneath this seat here is access to your batteries, or your battery. Down here underneath your bed is your 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mention that's 12 volts, always running off your battery. So if you are out boondocking, dry camping, nothing plugged in charging your battery, then use your battery disconnect if you're going to be gone for the day to keep this from running your battery down while you're gone. That battery disconnect is right here. That'll disconnect all the battery power to the unit. To the left of that is your access panel to your breaker box and fuses. A few 15s in there, a 20 and a 40. 110, 12 volt and USB ports. And that about covers everything on the inside except your awning. So on your awning, you are going to want to close your door before running your awning out. Get over here, you see better without the screen. You're going to want to run that out. Till your arms are almost straight there. Come out here. So you pull this forward. That is going to release this leg. Flip these up, and that'll bring your leg down. You can post these down into the ground as well on both sides. Simply lift this up. Same thing on this end. Just pull this forward. You see it pull out of there, and then just lift it and set it down. Put it in the back, set it up in there, and push it over. You'll notice that the feet has to be turned forward like that. Push that back in there. Make sure we close our door and run our awning back in. So that front of that awning will lift up quite high. Those legs will extend quite a bit. Again, you can post them into the ground. I saw someone recently had some sandbags that have ties on them that he ordered online. It may hold your legs down a little better depending on what kind of ground you're on. And on some concrete, I would highly recommend it. Nice, so we'll get our do the awning all the way back in. Now I'm going to shut off all the lights I can see. All the ones from my main control panel. Bedroom lights. Everything is off. Exit the unit. Lock and deadbolt your door. Simply lift and slide your step in. At this point, we're going to unhook our cable, our water, and our power. We're going to bring up all of our stabilizing jacks. Go inside there and dump them low point drains. And head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump's going to be just ahead of your tire. Take your sewage hose, comes in your convenience pack, hook it up there, and pull this black handle. Now, let that run until it sounds like it's empty. Go inside, press your black button, make sure that tank is empty. Once it is, remove it, or close the handle, then remove it, and conveniently and sanitarily store your sewage hose right in here. Come on down to your hot water heater. You're going to drain your hot water heater. You're going to crank this. Before cranking that open, you're going to pull up on this pressure release valve. That's going to dump all the remainder of the water out of here. Once that's out, then you can pull this and it'll drain the bottom out. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Sol Rover for many years to come. Happy camping.